Good evening. Welcome back to Cardiff City World. I'm your host, Evan James, and today Evan James is at the wheel. I know how to fix Cardiff City's terrible run of form. It's been a long week. I can't believe BBM still got the job. Oh my God! This panic stations. We're not already promoted by January. Obviously not. No, I'm only being sarcastic, and I have to say that just in case some people take that as literal, or they clip it up or something or whatever. No, honestly, like I wanted to put a message to people in the chat before I started and sort of leave a little bit to see what people want to say before I give my opinion. I didn't want to. I was ready. I wasn't late, by the way. I mean, I was technically, but it wouldn't be a show if I were a bit late. But no, I did on purpose. I wanted to see some of the comments build up and see what people thought. Because as soon as I give my opinion, that might influence people, and I want to see what everyone's unfiltered opinion is on how well the season's gone so far. I want to see as many people put in the chat out of 10 how well they think the season has gone so far. And yeah, basically, I just really want to know because I know it's been a long week. I know it's been, what's that been like? Two wins, and a win, a loss, and a draw, I think. Yeah. So it's been all over the place, really. We've had the 4-0 win against Exeter, then we had the 1-1 draw against Barnsley, and then a loss 2-0 against Wickham, which was, yeah, the less said about the better. But no, I think we've learned the lessons from it. I think we've got lessons to take away from it. I think we got lots of positives. But nice to see you. Hey, Gavin Kellen, Torreville Leisure Centre, finest Bluebird. Thank you very much. And yeah, so a bit insider knowledge there. Don't dox my whole location. No, I don't live in Torreville, but I am associated there. So yeah, so honestly, just as many people as you can. 10 being the best, 10 out of 10 being the best season, like massively exceed expectations, or maybe just as expected, really. Maybe people just thought it was going to be that great. 5 being like a little bit disappointed, but kind of meh. And then 1 just being absolute toilet. So get as many comments as you can. I mean, to be fair, there's a link there because I actually I'm a basketball coach for Torreville Leisure Centre, so I thought you were referring to me there, but that's a shame. That's a shame. Now I take back the compliment if that's the thing I could do. Even all, by the way, even to Alan Watkins, Reese Lasky, Gavin Kellens, Ryan CCFC. Nice to see you all. I can see there are a few more tuning in now. It is an 8 o'clock start, so it's an early kickoff for live. So I know that people will filter in as we go. And I'll explain what we're going to talk about today. I'd say, I'm assuming that's 9/10, because sometimes that's the divide side or whatever. I would say 9 or 10. Best year was when we were promoted to the Prem. I can't argue that, really. I guess I'm assuming you mean under Warnock, because there's a few occasions, but I like that season. I had a season ticket for that season. I was actually sat in the family stand, I think, because I was that young to sit in there. But yeah, the season we were up in the Prem, then I sat in the Ninian stand. Wow, what a difference it is! It was nice because in the Ninian stand you get everything, right? When it was freezing cold and it was pouring down with rain, you would get that all on you. And I was in row N, I think it was. Yeah, I remember now. Ninian stand row N. So when it was like you get all the worst and best of the weather, and then when it was like boiling hot, I remember. I think one of the first games was Newcastle, and then Arsenal. I think it was against Arsenal. I just remember my granddad just constantly like pouring water, or like using the bottle of water we had, pouring it on my neck, just to cool me down because of how hot it was. And now I sit in the grandstand with the rest of the quiet library people, which I feel like that's kind of like where I belong. I feel most comfortable there anyway. Someone would probably say the Premier Lounge. Reese Lasky says I'm going with 10. I actually enjoying this year more than any I've seen over the last 12 years or so. I'm really happy to hear that, Reese. And I gotta be honest, right? I would fully back that if loads of people said 10 out of 10. You could still have criticisms and still be a 10 out of 10. I kind of sort of like forget that as well. Like you could still have a 10 out of 10 season and still, lose a few games, God forbid, draw a few games, maybe drop points where we shouldn't have. And look, in the moment and, after games, it is normal to be frustrated. It's normal to show disapproval. It's normal to show that you're not happy with the results. That's fine. I think it's just that some fans are a little bit too Twitch happy in terms of the red button. They see the red buttons there, and there's no need to press it, but they just want to press it as soon as something goes wrong because it gives them the reason to use the panic mode. And I think we have no reason to panic. I think automatics is minimum expectations now. I mean, it's ours to throw away, and it's Bolton's or whoever else is to take over us. Again, do apologize if I start yawning. You're not boring, guys. Honestly, it's just that I had an early shift today, but I don't want to complain too much because there's people doing way earlier shifts than me. But I say I shouldn't be tired. I'm 24 years old, getting on a bit now. Jonathan Mordecai, as always, you are here. Yes, you are, my friend. You are always here. I see the comments are piling now, which is nice to see. Who else we got here? Reese Lasky, evening, mate. Mark Cox, evening, mate. 45 years of watching City, give this season a 9. Oh, that's got to be solid proof there, mate. You got a good sort of test range from there. But yeah, I mean, I would say for me, it's hard because I can see future seasons being even better than this, which is why it sort of like lowers my rating now. And I will give my rating in a bit, but I don't want to say mine just yet because when I get my reasons, I don't want to influence anyone. I'm just curious to see. But we've got loads of 8s, 9s, and 10s at the moment. I would be surprised if anyone was to say less than 7. If I'm being honest, I mean, even 7 to me, like right now, I feel like it's a bit harsh. But, each their own have their opinions. There's nothing wrong with having your own opinion. I just think you're wrong. That's all. If you say 7 or less. For me, I'll just say now, for me, I'll give it a 9. I think it's like, it's not, obviously, perfect would be 10 in terms of like unbeaten runs like Lincoln, which is like 22 unbeaten now, which is insane. They drew to Huddersfield, I think, the other night when we were playing. So you could see is maybe 2 points dropped for them, or maybe just a point earned. They're not losing, which is the main thing for them. I expect us both to be up in the championship next season. I think Lincoln fully deserve to go up, as do we though. See, and I think they've kind of gone a little bit under the radar because the main talk has been on us because we've been top for so long. But really, it's just been a case of like we've only slipped up like the last couple matches. Really, I mean, the last like 5 or so matches have been a bit rocky. The Plymouth game did not help us at all. I think Plymouth as well. It was very clear that Tom Cleverley was going to be a long-term appointment, as was BBM. I just think with the start of the season, Plymouth had a very, very slow start. And, to be fair to the owners, they stuck with a manager. They said, no, this is the vision we're going for. And eventually he's got it right now. And now they're, looking to push for a playoff move, which is mad. And look, I bring up Plymouth as well because they're a good example of what could have happened to us because Plymouth had to get rid of a lot of their players. And they still have a few quality players, but they've had to get rid of quite a few. And I'm thinking like, with us, we've cleared out so many players and we've only got better, which is the mad thing, right? It's like we've just used more or less a youth academy plus a few loan signings, couple of permanents. That's it, really. And half of our signings haven't really featured heavily yet. I mean, when we're going to see Scanlon properly, I want to see Scanlon start for Saturday's game, which I'm going to. I look, nothing against Joel Bagan, I will say. Absolutely nothing against him. I love the guy. And I think he's doing amazing. And you can't really fault him. I just want to give him a rest. And also, considering we got Scanlon on loan, I want to see what he's about. He looks pretty quick, he looks rapid. The goal he scored against us for Millwall was a really good goal, to be fair, albeit it was questionable defending at times. I just think that he's rapid and he's got the ability there to be up and down the wing, maybe even playing as left wing at times because of overlapping. And Joel Bagan does that now. Joel Bagan before would invert, but now he just overlaps. And look, I think Joel Bagan's great, but let's rest him before he picks up a knock. And even then, you probably put Capaccio a left back, which again I don't think is smart. I think before Bagan picks up something else, he's bound to. I mean, playing 46 games a season, or more or less, I think 44, 45. He's almost played every minute of every game for the sounds of it. But I want Scanlon to have a run. NG, maybe. I'm not sure what happened to Capaccio if he was in the squad for Wicham's game. I don't think I saw that. I was working, but I did sort of see the highlights and the score and whatnot. But I don't think I saw Capaccio in the squad. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, I'm not sure if that was due to illness, injury. I'm not sure. Let's have a look who else is in the comments. Let's have a look. Same reason this season, especially the away games in small towns where we turn up in numbers, have been so enjoyable. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been to one away game and it was the Middlesbrough game because I have family up there anyway. And it was a complete coincidence I was up there. I remember seeing Callum Chambers score that absolute rocket of a goal. From the other side, obviously, of the stadium. But no, I'm sure like if you're into like the away sort of trips as well, it's got to be exciting. The amount of early kickoffs probably don't help, but a lot of them have been home this season as well. So, it's not affected us too much. I just know that not a lot of people are a fan of the early kickoffs. Personally, myself, because I'm one of the very few people on this earth above the age of 18 that doesn't like really drink that much at all. I don't mind an early kickoff because it means I get to enjoy the rest of my day and not be stuck in the car park for ages. But yeah, that's just my personal thing. But I don't mind either way. Halftime orders even. I want nothing less than a strong finish to the season. We can't go over 100 days top and then scrimp it towards the end and give fans anxiety in the process. BBM makes some strange choices at times. Yeah, look, I mean, this is right. And also, if you haven't got your comment, I want to see out of 10 for you specifically halftime oranges what you would rate it. Because you said that comment, it's almost like you realizing how much more the season we've got to go. Let me get Fatima up here to get the table up. But yeah, so let's have a look, League One, where we're at. Yeah, so Lincoln are 5 points clear at the top, 81 points, 176. I don't know. I think I don't want to cover my face too much. It's going to give us anxiety because it's the classic Cardiff City thing, and that's nothing to do with BBM in that sense of like the Cardiff City fashion has been like, just a mess up last minute, and we tend to perform best when there's like no pressure left. I always use the example of the Man United game after we were relegated. We beat Man United 2-0. I mean, I don't know, Jose Mourinho was the manager as well, Jose Mourinho, whatever his name is. But yeah, so I find that like you think that having a bit of pressure for players. Oh, here we go. First goal of the evening. You think about some of the pressure on the players would actually, maybe nudge them in the right direction. And I don't know. But what's good to see is, apart from Port Vale, most teams now played most of their games. I think a few teams have 1 or 2 games in hand, but apart from Port Vale, it's not like Barnsley have got tons of games now. It's pretty evened out, which is good. I say we've won the second most amount of games. It's only Lincoln have won 1 more game than us. It's just that they've had more draws than us and a couple less losses, 2-3 less losses. Yeah. So it's, we haven't really been at fault for much of it. You think back to some of the games, for example, the Port Vale game, the second game this season, I think it was. Yeah, second or third game. The first away game where we drew 0-0. I mean, that could have easily been a loss for us. So that's another point down. But at the same time, we should have really won that game. I mean, it was the start of the season, you did an unknown quantity, and they had that toll out at the time. But yeah, it was just that's a game where we reverted back to type, and we should have definitely won that one. We should have really sort of plowed through them. But again, it was still early days. But if I'm being honest, I think we started the season better than what we were continuing it, and then we kind of picked up again. But yeah, that just comes down to not knowing his best 11, I guess, as well, and still experimenting at that point. But like that's just one of the games. Another game was let's have a look. Who else did we lose against? Get in the comments if you can before me. Who else did we lose against early in the season? Or not lose it, or maybe drew. Did we lose to Peterborough? No, we beat Peterborough at the start, but we played them again. I mean, we snuck a goal at the end for AFC Wimbledon, which could have been a draw. It's like there's been quite a few games where we've picked up points last minute, and that saved us a bit. But Lincoln just seem unstoppable right now. I think 22 games unbeaten, I'm pretty sure it is. It's ridiculous. And they're winning most of the games. It's not like what we did last season to get relegated, loads of draws. Was it Reading to beat us? I can't remember now. But I know some of the teams lower down beat us. And Burton was another one. Yes, there you are. Jonathan's just put in the chat there. Well done, Jonathan. You get nothing apart from your comment on the screen. Sorry. But Yeah, so teams like that, I think we should be beaten, but like we can't be perfect, you know. I mean, 8 losses in 38 games, like 30 games unbeaten, not in a row, but 30 games unbeaten so far. And like you would take that, wouldn't you? If you think, oh, if someone told you at the start of the season, oh, by the way, I'm a fortune teller, Evan, and by 38 games you would have lost 8 of them, drawn 7, and won 23. You'd be like, oh, I definitely have that. Even without knowing that you would be second place, you would because you think, well, that's definitely got to be playoffs at least. Something about. I don't know. I think you can't really fault it too much. I say give it 9, maybe 9.5 out of 10. I think the only reason why I'm not giving it a 10 for me is just the fact that it's we're not top right now, and even if we were, some people will be rating it like a 6 or a 7, which is, I know it's crazy, but it is. But there we are. And, I just looked at the team of the week now recently. Are we actually on there? I don't think we are. No, we're actually not on there for once. Loads of Peterborough and Stockport players. It's a shame. But no Lincoln players. Let's have a look. Who else is in the chat tonight? Oh yeah, Gavin Callan said Wrexham away. Will Fish winner was my favourite moment. That was one of my favourites as well. I think the Joel Bagan goal for me, the winner against Doncaster. Yeah, Doncaster. Yeah, it just last kick of the game, and I was just sitting here watching my granddad in this room, and we had big telly over there, and yeah, it was just like, I tell you what, it was a pain because don't worry, it's legal. I use an old VPN to stream the games from different countries like Germany or whatever. Yeah, so I was watching the game there, and I was watching the game from that. It took ages to set up, and I could finally sit down and watch the game, and it was just like from start to finish, it was just like, it was frustrating, anxiety inducing, but also exciting because there was goals. And then that Bagan goal right at the end, that said everything really. And like, it couldn't come to a better person either. There we go. Reese Lasky says it. Bagan's last minute winner to win 4-3. I think that was a lot of people's favourite goal. But to be fair, I agree with who is it who said it? I agree with Gavin in terms of I did really like the Wrexham goal from Will Fish. I don't know. I like it when less recognised players get goals because it shows how much work they do behind the scenes, and they don't get as much recognition for it. And obviously, I know everyone rates Will Fish, but it's just nice because it's not someone you'd expect to really score, is it? I see. Are the young Welsh players that come through this season have been 10 out of 10? Yeah, honestly, guys, get in the comments below as well. I'm trying to get you interactive loads because I want to get your opinions on loads of things. Out of all the youngsters, who has surprised you the most? And this includes, like, so anyone who's basically 21 and under. So basically half our squad. But any of like the youth academy players that sort of like made you think, oh, actually, I wouldn't mind having them. There's 2 that stand out for me. That's the Axel Donsev, the 15-year-old guy, one of the youngest recruits. And TJ Parfit is the other one. I gotta say, he's absolutely bombing up and down that left hand side. I think he could do a job easily for backup for Bagan. But I think he's in the under 18s. So and I'll give Daniel Higgs a special shout out as well for third choice keeper. And also I also talked to him at work. So here we are. Just thought I'd mention that. But you might be watching this. Who knows? Let's have a look. Bagan's last minute winner. Yep, sit that one. No anxiety from me, Matt Cox says. It'll all be done and dusted in a few games. You reckon? I'm really happy, really confident about that. A lot of people are very optimistic in the chat, which is good, and we should be, obviously. It's mad to think that I can anticipate negative comments. Ooh, what did I say earlier? No, 7 out of 10. Oh, God, oh no. Okay, that's fine, honestly. Let's have a read. We've lost to too many teams at the bottom of the league too often. We could probably now wrap this up. I hate slacking, and sometimes it's been evident. Okay, I mean, no, honestly, each their opinion. I do agree. I think the rating maybe just gave me a bit of a heart attack early on. Yeah, I mean, look, like even Man City, I can't remember who said it. I think it was might be Sai actually on the show yesterday, or the day before. I can't remember now. Even Man City took a few seasons to get going before they were winning the league consistently with Pep Guardiola. So like, I think there's definitely a much longer term project behind this. The fact that he's got a 3-year deal, but like next season, BBM presumably be here. He's not going in blank. He's got the same players, but he can just add a couple more. And look, he can decide then. Oh, wait a second, sorry, got a bit of a hay fever or cold or something. He can decide then whether he wants to sign Nathan Trott. Should we get promoted? Hopefully so at this point. I shouldn't be saying that now. I should say when we get promoted. Kellyman's not coming back on loan. That's almost certain because he's probably going to be in Chelsea's first team as a rotation player. Maybe he'll go on loan to a championship club or even a lower tier Premier League club. That probably makes sense. He's just too good. He's too good for League One, and he's almost too good for Championship, I reckon. But he hasn't really been tested at Championship. Maybe against the Wrexham game. I mean, he was good in that. To be fair, he was running the show. But yeah, I can see like sometimes you get a bit complacent. We have a lot of possession of the ball, and sometimes you get a bit sort of like overconfident. I think not. I say lazy or complacent. I guess it's complacency. Just a bit too confident that we got the win in the bag, and sometimes that's cost us a bit, especially the Lincoln game. Oh my god! I mean, look, teams know now. They just sit back. They just sit back and let us play a football with our false nine, and it just when teams don't commit, they realize, okay, well, they can play through the press, so let's not just not press them. And at times, Lincoln would go forward with like in a 2-2. 3. I didn't even know what formation it was, but they had like 2 men at the front, 2 men behind them, and like sort of like a half press. It was really weird, but they did it like a couple of times, and after that, they realized, well, let's just sit back in a 6 and a 4 block, and it'd be fine. It's like that's all it took for them. Let's have a look. Lost again. Any team starting with letter B early on? Well, Bought fail. See, Jonathan says he rated an 8. Been some disappointments, but generally good season. It's just this is pre-season really. Let's think about this. It's a giant pre-season for us. Honestly, like, let's get through the next 2 games. We need. What would it take us to? Sorry, we're on 38 games. 6 more points will take us to 82. That's mad to think. We're 2 wins off beating Lincoln, which it sounds like a lot, but also not a lot. But in order for us to go top, Lincoln have to lose the next 2 games in that case, or at least they even got +5 goal difference over us. But yeah, I think it's like if we get 2 more wins, I think it's done and dusted then, because as long as you just don't lose every single game from there, I think we got in the bag. Because Bolton Wanderers have drawn 3 of their last 5 games. They've won the other 2, so they haven't lost in the last 5 at least. But now there's pressure on them because Bradford are a point behind them, and I mean Stockport out there. We're guaranteed playoffs, but Cardiff, the worst thing we do now, and this is kind of like a good position to be in, is that the worst position we can get now is a playoff spot. It's probably 5th place is like the worst we can get right now, which would be a disappointment, but there's always a decent chance we go up. But you look at those teams now: Bolton, Bradford, Stockport, and Reading, which could change. Could be Huddersfield, Stevenage, oh my god, Wickham, Plymouth, and a push maybe Luton or Barnsley. I think Barnsley season's over. I gotta be honest. Yeah, 3 wins. 3 draws, a win and a loss. Yeah, they've only just evened out a 0 for goal difference as well. They're not getting the playoffs, unfortunately, but that's not my issue. But yeah, I think like worst place we're finishing is 5th now. I mean, even if we have a terrible end of the season, which we won't, because we will go up as champions hopefully. But yeah, I think generally good season. I think there's been a lot of naivety from players and the manager. I think you can excuse some of that because, again, first season syndrome. But it's nice for once. Let's just be honest, right? It's nice that we've got a manager that feels that he's going to be here for longer than like 6-7 months. So he's actually going to be here with us for a bit of a long-term project. We're not having like 2, 3, 4 managers in one season, which is ridiculous. It's nice to know where we stand. The manager's got a contract. We're not going to wait till next year. We're not going to wait end of season now. Okay, season's over. It's a great manager. Right, we need that rolling 1-year contract now. We need that certainty again. We've already got it. He's already got a 3-year deal. He's already got 2 more years. And I would not be surprised if next season, touch wood, you know what? Well, it'd be the really smart thing to do right now. Wait till the end of season. And if we finish, say this, right? From now, if like the owners will say like, okay, if we finish top by end of season, we will give you a 1-year extension on your contract for BBM now, and give them a little bit wage increase, whatever, something like that. Like you imagine, like, I mean, I'm sure like BBM wants to finish top anyway because of like just to get the title and everything, and how much of achievement. And it's an achievement regardless if he gets us back promoted, which he will. I have to keep telling myself that. But like you know what I mean? Like it's like, because then he keeps another 3-year deal there, and you think, right, he's already had 1 season with us. I just get a sense that he's here for the long term. And look, I know people say like, oh, big clubs will come in for him, over Strasbourg and Wolves. Like, I'm sorry, but like when I hear big clubs, I was thinking like the Liverpools, Man Cities. I mean, he was with Man City, obviously, but like, yeah, that's I highly doubt that's going to happen, because he's got to restart everything he's built up. And BBM's like a journeyman. Not journeyman. Sorry, that's the wrong term, because that would mean you going elsewhere. He's in it for the long game, right? He's in it for the late game, and I just can't see him going anywhere else, because he's rebuilt the entire culture, the philosophy, the standards, the expectations, the environment, everything. Everything's changing because we made, the board made one good decision in how many bad decisions. And look, I'll say this now in the slight chance this word gets around, but like, I'll be honest, like, last season and the last few seasons, absolute disaster. 125th year anniversary, we get relegated. That's embarrassing. And look, I mean, Rotherham might get theirs on the 125th or 150th. I don't know what year it is for them. To me, right, it's embarrassing if you get relegated on your anniversary if you're a team known to be in that league. So, for example, if Port Vale, I'm not sure if Port Vale got something special, but yeah, I think it was a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, so like if Port Vale get relegated, which they most likely will, and say it was the anniversary season, it's not going to be like a massive, it's not going to be as big of a thing, because they spent a season in the league above. But for us to be a regular championship side and to get relegated in that kind of fashion last season, and all they really did was, give us the badge that we wanted for a season. Like, to me, that's just, it's not on. And I have to say, this season they've got it right with that one massive decision, which is getting the manager right. And he's, they followed up with back-to-back great decisions of letting him get his own staff in. I mean, they got Lee Riley in straight away, which is great. It's his man. They got that Love Lady, and I can't remember the other guy's name now. Oh my God, it's gonna be. Well, Gavin Ward's still here. They got Darren Person charge back at the charge of the youth academy, which it's like it's one good decision after another and has a domino effect. Now we've got these people in place at the top. We just need to add on that. So maybe we get another staff member, or I don't know. I don't really know much about football, if I'm being honest. You can tell, but it really is a case now of like, we just need to add deeper and deeper. Make sure that, first of all, we have complete certainty over where the manager is, how long he's going to be here for. Complete certainty over our long-term plans, not just that we only got a short-term plan before. Short-term and long-term plans need to be solidified. So basically how ambitious we literally want to be, because I know next season everyone's going to be like, oh, I want to do the back-to-back and get to Premier League. If we finish 8th next season championship, we get the playoffs. It's like, if I'm being honest, right? Let me get the let's have a look. I need to have a look at the what do you call it? Championship. Let's see. So next season, if we get up, it would be us, Lincoln, probably Bolton, because Stephen Schumacher's a good manager, I reckon. But it could be Reading, it could be someone else, So it's us three, and coming back down will be Wolves, Burnley, and probably Tottenham. Let's be honest. So yeah, it's like we'll have Tottenham away, ole. But But no, I think if Wrexham go up, they might get. I'm not sure. But I look at the championship, and it's been kind of like I don't know. It's kind of open ended, really. I mean, Coventry and Middlesbrough are probably up by now, but you got Ipswich still. There's you got a good few decent teams, but like Leicester is second bottom, which is insane. Like before, we'd get thrashed by Leicester, and now they're going to probably be in League One, and we'll be waving time as we go past them. We'll have the two derbies back now. I mean, where's Bristol at 14? So we'll have the Sevenside derby and the South Wales derby, which would be great to have back. So you missed that for a season, and I just think Championship right now is where we honestly belong. But because of such a horror disaster of a season last season, we were in the mess we were. But maybe you could spin that as a positive and say, maybe getting relegated wasn't the worst idea because we got the right man in for the job. And he's had a season to basically just get used to squad and really understand the kind of players he wants. He hasn't had a lot of time to sign players from the start of the season because he just joined us before the preseason tour. And the guy's done a remarkable job. 8 losses in 38 games, considering he didn't have a lot of preparation time. Yes, he covered Man City, but doesn't just because they're a Man City coach doesn't mean they're like world class. But he's learned from Pep, I'm assuming. And if I'm being honest, sometimes his style of football has been a little bit passive, been a bit too possession and risk averse style, which I think that will change next season. I think we're going to have to really. We're going to have to be more confident from the goal, whether it's outside the box, inside the box. We can't always expect to pass in there because these teams are Championship, they're not a great deal better, but they are more switched on. These are Championship regular teams, like most of these. So I don't know. I just think. I mean, Reece Lassie says, yeah, exactly what I said. All done with the new style and very young team, absolutely unreal all season. Yeah, you got to think of that. To me, that makes it a 10 out of 10 for me, if I'm being honest. Even though we're not top, I think that makes it just the fact that we've done this all with young players as well. Joel Colwell, definitely think he's been one of the best young players. Halftime order sitting with 7. We can be good, but we must always endeavor to be great. No, I get that. And look, there's two things that can be right at once. You can appreciate how well we've done this season, whilst also saying that we can be better. And I think in terms of like our expectations, maybe then, or the standards have been set, maybe saying that like a 9 out of 10 is we've been amazing, but we still slipped up a few times. But I think it's like it stopped us from free falling straight away. We started off really well. I mean, I'll say that the second game wasn't great, but we got through it. Oh yeah, definitely Dylan Lawler surprised you the most. Yeah, I knew he was promising, but didn't expect him to take such a key role with Comfort this season. Mate, honestly, he just kind of came out of nowhere. And I remember Sai saying we should use him. He was captain of like the youth squad for a while. Man, I don't understand how we waited like so long before we introduced him into the first team. It was absolutely criminal. I mean, once we played him in the Aston Villa game, I think it was, and he was just he was in the back three and he was just sensational, honestly. And then Louis Giles as well. I mean, I'm not sure what's happening with him at the moment. I think he's out on loan. I don't know, but I thought he could have been really good. But we let go of Raheem Conte, which is what surprised me from last season or season before. I can't remember now. But yeah, it's like I think that was the season before we let him go. Yeah, it's gone by so fast. He was so electric pace. Oh, we let him go this year, but he went on loan last year. He just had everything. He has so much pace, and he was everything we needed from a fullback, honestly. But I suppose we've got Ronan Capaccio, which is just as good, if not better, maybe. Well, I can't see getting much better anytime soon, so why not just allow yourself to enjoy it? Well, of course, yeah. Oh, right, okay. Thanks for specifying then, because I wasn't going to read out that word. I've got kids watching, right? To make sure. And it's not past 9 o'clock yet, so we haven't got to unfiltered part. And halftime order says dream big. I will dream big. Don't you worry. I think sometimes I get carried away because usually I'm quite pessimistic, just because I know how Cardiff is. Do you reckon, Mark? Because honestly, I would love to believe you. I just think that given how good he's been so far for us, a better coach will get even more out of him now. And playing around people, other teammates who are better than him as well, going to push him further in training, and he's going to play better because he's going to have better people around him. That's just kind of how I guess it works. At least that's how I see it. But I hope you're right. If you get him back on loan again, but to me, it's like whenever a player says that their future's with another club and they're on loan somewhere, it does not say disrespectful. Maybe I guess before I saw it that way. I don't know if I can get around that sort of fact and knowing he's not going to be our player, because they say never fall in love with a lone player. Like Jaden Philogene was absolutely insane, but yeah, it was like we almost got relegated that season. But like we knew we wouldn't get him back on loan. I mean, he was linked with Barcelona at one point, I think. So yeah, went to Ipswich in the end, I think. But I don't know. Yeah, I just think I think Kellyman's not coming back to us anyway. Even though just enjoy the time that he's here. I respect the dream. To be fair, yeah, me too. Honestly, I am quite a big dreamer. To be fair, I've read a book before called The Magic of Thinking Big. So I am a big thinker. Well, I'm a big dreamer. Let's have a look. Being top for 105 days is gutting to now drop off. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be, isn't it? When you get used to that and then you lose it, it is. But hey, we got something to fight for now. We got a target to reach, haven't we? And that's the sort of thing. Before, when you're top, it's like the pressure's kind of on you a bit more now because you've got to keep that position. And but I mean, until recently, I mean, Lincoln have always been kind of breathing on an X for a while. They didn't start, swimmingly either. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, there we go. We'll get into the contracts now. I feel like this is good because we're doing a bit of everything, to be fair. So I'm reading a few of these comments before I bring them up just in case, because sometimes I bring them up and I don't read them and there's some naughty words in there. Graham says, a bit of a concern, NG, Bagan and Wintle not signed new contracts yet. Yeah, a little bit concerned, but I suppose he's kind of going through the hierarchy of who he really wants at the moment. And Ruben Colwell's got a contract extension, I think. Was it a 1 year extension or 2 years? Yeah, but he's here till 2030 now. So yeah, that's good. Or no, sorry, his contract's valid until then. He's not going to be here necessarily, but I hope he is. I think he will be now. But yeah, it is a bit concerning that you think by now, but maybe he's just doing it towards the end of the season as like a reward when we get promoted, and then they get it. But NG, I think he'll probably get maybe a 2 year deal. Wintle maybe the same, but Bagan's the main one that we need to really keep hold of. I mean, not all of them, to be fair, because Wintle's been really good as well, and NG. But give them all at least 2 year deals, I'd say, and Bagan, I'll be giving a 5 year contract if I'm being honest. I don't know. I just like, this is not a criticism to Bagan. I don't know what he is. He's one of those players where I don't think many teams will come sniffing around for him because. Like, don't be wrong, he's put in a great shift every game, but he's constantly putting out like 7, 8 out of 10 performances, which is really good. But it's just so consistent. But yet it's like, because he's a left back, maybe I don't know. It's like because he's obviously, I don't know if it's driven by stats that people are not looking at him. But I'm not complaining at the same time because I really hope we do keep Bagan for as long as possible. The only reason why I'm not backing for Wintle and NG is that I want them both to stay as well. I think they're crucial to our squad. I just know that they're a bit older than Bagan, and I know that Bagan will have a lot more market value than them. So, just saying, I know NG and Wintle are good friends. So, I put this question, my boys NG, Wintle, Bagan, all out of contracts. You can only give one a new 2 year deal, another one a 1 year deal, and one goes. Who would you choose? Well, Bagan's definitely getting my 2 year deal. The 1 year deal, oh man, I hate this actually. I actually hate this because I got to get rid of Wintle or NG. I'm probably going to give Wintle the 1 year and then NG will have to let go purely because the amount of times NG's been close to going. And I think as well, but you going to free. I don't know where NG would go, see. That's the thing, see. If he were to go to another club, I don't know if he'd go to Championship, but he can't go to League One, surely. I know with the latter stage of your career, but he's still, he's like 28, 29 years old. I'd have to let go Perry and G as much as suck, man. I hate these sort of dilemmas. I know it's not real. I know it's like hypothetical or whatever, but it just man, I hate it, man, because I love all those three players. I love all players in the squad, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm a big fan of Di Turnbull. It's probably one of my favorite players. And I like this sort of redemption arc kind of thing. And I just think Turnbull's got something that not a lot of players have, which is just like a really, really good long shot, like really good long shot accuracy and power. And it's like, it's so underutilized. And if he just lets it rip sometimes, it's just like, ah, man, but we don't do it, you know? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. And again, it was club signing, so it wasn't who Bullet wanted. I know he wanted Bakasetas, but there's no way he was getting the Greek captain. It was like, his wage was like, I believe, 40k a week or something like that. It was, I mean, Chambers on like 32k a week now, but yeah, I don't think we were getting Bakasetas anytime soon. Let's have a look. Who else we got? Yeah, see if you've got anyone else in the comments. We'll go back to Jonathan. Jonathan says Louis Giles at Eastleigh, isn't he? Then Mafiko and Parrott at Yeovil. I think so. Referring back there, I think he's at Eastleigh. Yeah, I hope they do. Obviously, all have great loans. I mean, from what I heard, Mafiko got man of the match of his first game, and not sure about Parrott how what he's doing. Kellyman got Palmer at 10 to try and get ahead of. Neto got Granacho. I'm not sure if you intentionally misspelled that out wide. And is it Pedro up top? So not easy. Yeah, Pedro Neto, is it? Or I don't know. I don't know. So not easy to get into the Chelsea team. No, not easy. But like again, you can rotate against. I don't know. Maybe next season not so much, but I can see him going to like a lower end Premier League club. Excuse me. Oh my god, that really hurt then. Or like a top end Championship team. I just know whoever's got him in the Championship, if he does go there, is just so blessed. Honestly, they're gonna have such a fun time with him. Blackpool last 9 away games, 0 wins. Oh dear. Well, let's hope that form continues, eh? Hey, evening, get right. So I see someone else in the comments here. For all the fans who got the jitters, myself included, perhaps this will help. If we win 4 of 8, we'll have 88 points. For Bolton and Bradford to beat that, they have to win all of their games. So 4 wins, and it's like, come on, that is doable. Like, let's see who we got quickly. Who we got left to play? Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you kidding me? I have to turn over for 1 game. Okay, so this will give us a bit more confidence. So our last 8 games are Blackpool home, Port Vale home, Peterborough away, Bolton home. Hey, that's a 6-pointer there. So if we beat Bolton, I mean, that's whatever. Huddersfield, which could be another 6-pointer. I think so much. They're a bit lower down. Reading, Northampton, and who else? Oh, it's Mansfield, isn't it? Yeah. So we're just playing loads of like we're playing loads of playoff teams. So we got Blackpool, Port Vale, Northampton, not in the playoffs, and Mansfield. So basically, half our games are playoff teams right now, which is insane. That's a really good. Well, I don't know. It could be really good. It could be really bad. But the Bolton game definitely is really good. That's insane. That in it. Most half our games are playoff position teams. So thanks, Garen, for saying that as well. That's makes it a lot easier for me to break down. Bolton running is horrendous. Let's have a look at Bolton quick. Let's see. Bolton. They lost 5 fixtures. Yeah, they've drawn 3, 1, and lost 1. Is it? I can't remember now. Bolton haven't lost for ages. What do you mean horrendous? They haven't lost for ages. Christ alive. And mind you, though, early in the season they did a bit of a stinky patch. A big stinky patch, but looks a bit. They lost 3-0 to Burton. That was great. Yeah, I think Bolton, the only trouble we've got right now, and which is a good thing in a way. We need someone to keep the pressure on us, because if we want to, if we want to go up, we have to show it. We can't just like be poor like right through the end of the season. Now, the last 8 games, you want to finish strong, don't you? Even though probably going to go up. Let's get. Wait a second. Last 10 minutes. I'm just gonna go. I'm probably gonna share my screen a second if it's gonna work. I've gone back to my Mac. The Windows is. Oh, I can't hack it. I can't hack Windows. Once you go Mac, you never go back. That's the saying. Oh no, Reese just lack of spelling, Ev. But no, I'm gonna call him Cornacho from now on. Just because only 2 are playoff teams, Huddersfield and Bolton. That's yeah. Sorry, what I meant is like teams who could potentially be in the playoffs. So we've got Bolton, Reading, then you have Huddersfield who are near. I think Peterborough are probably out there, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's like that's going to affect the playoffs massively, beating Bolton and Huddersfield Town. But if I'm being honest, like if we don't beat Huddersfield, it's not a massive issue because I obviously want to, but it's like that just means they get in the playoff spot. But yeah. Oh, Bolton playing Bradford as well. When's that? Let's have a look. Fixtures. Where are the fixtures? Oh, not for a while. Oh, they got them like they won the second to last game, the penultimate game, and then they got Luton. Okay, so they haven't actually got an easy run. Bolton have got a quite difficult run. I mean, Bolton's next last 8 Port Vale away, Stevenage home, Plymouth away. That'll be a tough game. I reckon they'll lose that one a lot. Home to Stockport, away to us, home to Huddersfield, away to Bradford. Oh, that's gonna be a nice one. And then home to Luton. So they're literally playing home away for the rest of the season. That's awful, man. I would be, if I was a Bolton fan, I wouldn't be fancying my chances of getting automatics. So that's good for us anyway. They're playing loads of decent teams as well. I think they haven't got any team, maybe Luton, but apart from that, they're playing teams at the top half, which is good. So like, not to say we've won it or whatever, but like they've got a really big, a really tough mountain to climb there. Peterborough fallen off recently. Yeah, I think so. I think you can't really sort of like complain too much. So if you're a Peterborough fan, if you're a posh fan, I mean, you threatened with relegation at the start of the season, and then in comes Luke Williams. They steadied themselves around 13th place with 49 points, so just below Barnsley by 1 point, and they have 1 game in hand. Peterborough do, but I think they'd be happy with a mid-table finish from that early scare. I mean, if we were talking about last season when we were in the Championship, we would have been happy with 13th place, but didn't quite happen, did it? Stockport playing Luton this weekend. That sounds like an entertaining game. Yawn. Bolton and play. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's Gavin Cole's putting in the comments here. Like that's insane. Like that's got to give us confidence, knowing they got all those teams to deal with, and we just got to deal with a couple of playoff teams, and then some there and abouts, and then Port Vale and Peterborough. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we don't win against Peterborough, if we draw or lose it, because that cup game was shocking. Bolton can drop loads of points, horrible running. Yeah, we're calling it now. We're calling it. Manifest it, guys. What I'll do is then, guys, I just want to run through who I pick for the game on Saturday. Yeah, I agree, guys. As long as we keep winning. But as me, I'm a very nosy guy. I like to know who other teams have got. I don't always watch other teams play, but sometimes I do a little bit. It's not the most entertaining thing, but yeah, it's just nice to see other teams fight, and you don't have to have the oh god, what have I done there? And you don't have to have the pressure of sort of like expecting your team to win. You can just kind of like sit and watch a game and kind of enjoy it from like an outsider's perspective. It's a really weird experience when you don't support either team, but no, I recommend doing it a bit more. Just because, just because it's like it takes away the pressure. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen here. Sorry, my camera's in the way, so I'm gonna have to. There we go. Oh god. Okay, we're fine. I think we're fine. Yes, I just want to make sure I don't really get anything personal, but I shouldn't do. So yeah, the reason why I'm going to this now is because I want to get your comments down in as well about the predictions for the scoreline for Saturday for the Blackpool game. What do you reckon it's going to be? And I'm going to build my lineup because it frustrates me how many changes we make, but at the same time, there's certain players I just think deserve to start this game. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see a lot from the Wickham game, so you have to bear with me with that and correct me if one player had a bad game or if they're injured or something. But for me, I think Nathan Trott is automatic. Be honest, he hasn't. Oh God, he hasn't impressed me as much lately. I think he's been at fault with quite a few goals, and his distribution hasn't been great at all. But you give a benefit of doubt and you put him in the sticks because he's done a lot for us this season so far. Maybe tiring us a bit. He's basically played every game apart from two, I think. Matthew Turner at the start of the season against Peterborough, and maybe once in the cup, I think Matthew Turner played. But yeah, he's basically played every game for us this season. Someone's dropping something. And to be honest, right, I could put in. I can't remember the name now. Bagan. I could put in Bagan, but I'm going for Callum Scanlon, one of the three Callums that we have at the club, because I just think against Blackpool, I think they're very counter-attacking. I think if you're going to look for someone who's going to run back and sprint back and make it back in time, you're going for Callum Scanlon. And I also think because of that, if he's fit or whatever, I would definitely put Capaccio on there. Like, I know sometimes the lack of experience a little bit as a young centre back, as a young right back, but he makes up a lot of his mistakes with his pace to be able to recover the ball back. And I think that's the one thing that is really admirable about him, and the manager really admires from him, is the fact that he'll make a mistake, but he'll sprint back and win the ball back. Obviously admiring the latter half of that. But yeah, I think going back to the start of the season, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So that's why I'm going for Dylan Lawler, first of all. And I see your comments coming in. Gavin Khan says Chambers slash Dylan. Oh my God. Chambers and Dylan Lawler centre-back pairing. He also says the Wintle and Robertson should be the midfield duo. I'm going for 4-3-3, so I'm going for the Dylan Lawler and Wish Pascod. What does he do? There he is, yeah. Honestly, I don't know why there was a need to change this. I guess they had to introduce Chambers at some point. Fish and all, man. That's the way it's got to be. That's how I see it. I'm going to do something a bit different here, and people will probably be like, "What are you doing, Evan?" I think this guy has been unfairly dropped. I think he deserves to play. I think he deserves to start. I just think he's got a bag full of energy. Especially against Blackpool, who are quite counter-attacking. And yeah, honestly, Gavin, you stay on that point, right? Because I'll get there. You haven't seen nothing yet. Like seeing Joel playing gives us energy, energy, runs beyond that false nine, and that is exactly why I am picking Joel Colwell. Because if I'm being honest, right, and there's method to my madness here, even though I'm mad regardless. Because I am going to put on right wing straight away. I'm going to put Kellyman here. And look, I know he's better in the middle, but what I sometimes see, right, is Joel Cole will end up going out to the wing, kind of overlapping or even underlapping or inverting, should I say, yeah, and end up playing as the false nine himself. And he's just got bags of energy. I think Kellyman and Joel Cole really link up well together. I think for me, it's a must. You've got to have Ryan Wintle in there. Either that or you have Alex Robertson. And yes, my team is attacking, but the reason I've got Ryan Wintle there is because he's just naturally better at sitting in between the two centre-backs, whilst the rest attack, whilst you have your attacking full-backs. And then it's really tricky, right? Because part of me wants to put Alex Robertson, part of me wants to put David Turnbull in there. And then obviously I think, well, who's going to be captain? Because if Ruben Cole's not on, it's probably going to be Wintle because Chambers hasn't started. And I was going to put Ruben Colwell, but I just think for the extra mobility, I just think Alex Robertson, a very technical player, and I really rate him this season. I think he's doing exceptionally well. And look, I think everyone's doing really well, to be fair. But I just think some players like him, Robertson is one of those, it just got under the radar. I think a lot more people talk about Wintle now. I just realized I can freely move these players now. But yeah, it's I just think he just says the basics so well, and that's all you need, really. I mean, obviously more is great, but he's got so much more to show that he hasn't even shown yet. And I know next season, Championship, with tougher opponents, he will only get better because players will be more aggressive, and he's just he does so well at keeping the ball, and he's getting smarter as well at learning how to tackle without just giving away silly fouls. He still does it occasionally, but every player does. But I feel like he's going in less reckless fouls. He's not doing any Gabriel or shows, like going all the way up the pitch. I honestly I don't understand what he was doing there. But that's just what it is, isn't it? Left wing then I could go for Willock, Tanner, Ashford. Isaac Davis apparently is back up for selection. I won't be surprised if him and Yusuf Salek are both back on the bench. I am going for the man that I haven't really put a foot wrong recently, and that's Kean Ashford. He's been the most aggressive, attacking, and dominant on the wing, and a lot of times he will invert as well. And honestly, I just think since he's come back from the little injury he had, you couldn't fault him. And look, I know Ollie Tanner is getting loads of assists, and he's got the top, I think, about in all the English clubs. I think he's got the most assists, I think. Can't remember now. Unless it's just like the EFL, sort of like not the top 20 or whatever. But Ashford, for me, I think he does work better on the right. I think he's just natural. I don't know what it is, but like he can cross in. But he's also good on the left. He can cut in as well, and he's got a decent shot. And for the love of God, I'm not sure if anyone else has said it in the comments yet. I don't think they have. But this is Callum Robinson's game. He needs to make sure. I don't want to see him coming back and dropping deep in here. I don't want to see what will happen is, right. You'll have this. You'll have a 4-1-2-2 diamond. And look, this is quite narrow, and I like how that looks. But if I'm being honest, right, to be fair, I don't hate that. I don't hate it because I've always been a fan of like narrow formations because I genuinely believe that attacking through the middle, if done right, is like the best thing to do. Because you've got three potential strikers here, right? You've obviously got your false nine, which Robinson probably is. But Robinson to me has always been a poacher, and that's just kind of how I see it. It's he's got to start a game at some point, honestly. And this is the game he has to start, because if he doesn't, I genuinely think the manager doesn't back him. Like this is me saying it now. I know he probably has a strategy behind it. You've got to play. Look how attacking that is. I mean, you've got very technical players in there. You've got Dylan Lawler. Again, you probably end up a striker sometimes as well, running through the defence. But you've got cover everywhere. You've got fast attacking fullbacks. You've got Ryan Wintle as your number 6 destroyer. You've got bags of energy there with Joel Colwell and Alex Robertson. And like you've got problems all around the front three at the top here, because these players, Kellyman, Ashford's, they'll take players on. They're not going to shy away from that. I mean, Ollie Tanner's done as well, but Chris Willock, and again, I think Chris Willock is like, it's like almost like toss a coin all times of like what kind of game he's going to have. But he'll start really far out wide here, and then you'll cut in, and he's quite slow about it. And he has a really good sort of curling ball into the box or shot. But I find recently he's just stopped doing that. Whether the man just told him to stop doing it because they want to keep the ball more. Honestly, you just got to let those cannons go. You just got to fire those cannons away. And that's when you get towards the end, then you can take the likes of Joel off. You can bring on Ruben Colwell. And then you could have your subs like this. Take off, I don't know, depending on Ryan Wintle or Robertson. I'd probably take Robertson off. And I'll put Turnbull on. And then towards the end, you just got like these cannons just going off, shooting outside the box loads, and just keeping them on their toes. If Yusuf Salek is fit, probably wouldn't introduce him back in this game. Same with Isaac Davis. The other option is you put Kellyman middle then, and then you sort of put Tanner out wide here. Hang on, Ollie Tanner here. And, you go back to that. You go back to that false nine sort of thing then, don't you? And like that's what the managers want to play at the moment. But if I'm going to be honest, the safest way, I wouldn't be surprised. Mark Cox says no Robert for me. I mean, each their own, but to me, he's got to be given a start. He's got to be given a start. But I generally wouldn't be against if we played 5 at the back, where, well, we kind of do already, where let's just say Wintle's the middleman here. Even if we had Chambers, like, I would genuinely be curious, right? And this is, sorry, I'm getting creative now. Please forgive me. And I will end in a second, but it would be interesting, right, if we went for 5 at the back here. Let's say we had oh god, who we had out? I want Joel Colwell, because I want his just relentless aggression, really. Let's have Robertson. If this is the plan B of if we don't decide to go with Wintle, okay? We have Alex Robertson. Now that, and again, probably would put Robinson in there, but that is something I can get behind because you can still say that's really attacking, but you've got plenty of defensive coverage there. I mean, Robertson can play number 6 as well, but it's just so much energy you've got there. And against Blackpool, they're probably going to play 5 at the back. They're probably going to be as counter-attacking as possible. And that really destroyed us last time. We had like one of the backs sometimes defending. It's but Tanner is second in the league for assists, top since New Year, and you're dropping him. No, look, It's not just about like, oh, this is the best player, so we have to start him. It doesn't always come to that. It comes down to the relationships between teammates. It comes down to what kind of football you want to play. Like, if I'm playing a 4-4-2, for example, I get really into this now. Sorry, if I'm playing a 4-4-2, oh god, how do I've gone free-form anyway. This is what's happened now. I just need to prove a point, okay? Christ alive, Kellyman up top. I'll swap Chambers out for Joel Colwell. Oh god, I've put him in now. Who else is a Wintle? If I'm going more, okay, like a 4-5-1, let's say, I'm. This is where I'm probably going to have like Tanner at his best because he does a lot more defensive duties, and I think he just bomb down the wing and whip a cross in. I think he's got a really good right foot as well, but no, each their own. To me, right, I don't think just because a team plays a back 5 doesn't mean they can't defend with 4. It's all about setting up against the opposition, because I feel like if we were to match and mirror, I don't know why Tanner's all the way over here, son. If we were to match and mirror what the other team would do, which was something we almost never do, it might shock them, it might change them for a bit. Like, it doesn't always have to be a change of personnel. It could just be a change of formation. Like, I genuinely wouldn't mind this because every kind of formation is a variation of another anyway. I mean, a lot of times we end up playing 5 at the back or even 3 at the back because the middleman here, Wintle, will drop here. Sorry, Wintle will drop here and he'll make a 5. So it's a fluid formation. But so I'll end it there because I'm just getting way too tactical now and I feel like I have to prove a point all the time. Stick to basketball. Hey, don't worry, I'm not quitting basketball, but no, one day I'll become a football manager, prove you're wrong. I'll just download the football game and play it there. But I'm just saying that, like, yeah, it's every 4. We kind of start as a 4-3-3, but because Wintle drops deep a lot of times, it allows the fullbacks to overlap and whatnot. Gowan's got his style 11 in. Trott, Bagan, NG, Lawler, Chambers. Okay, so we got Wintle, Robertson, Joel Colwell, Ruben Colwell, Tanner, Ashford. Willock right back in the car park. Oh, that's very mean, but there we are. I think I'm going to say that right back is in position, but I'm assuming you meant that as a joke, obviously. So yeah, some people say no Robbo as well. Went well for Will Still. Wait, did he do the okay, I understand. Anyway, guys, honestly, it's been a pleasure interacting with you all, and sorry I get too analytical at the end there, but I quite enjoy it, to be fair. I like giving my opinions because I'm always right. I'm never wrong, except when I am. Thank you all for joining so much, and I hope, obviously, I'm going to say 3-1 to Cardiff, but I think that's the opposite of what it was before last time with Blackpool. 3-1 to Cardiff. It's going to be an exciting match. Hopefully, we're going to start taking shots more often outside the box as well. We're going to test the keeper. We're going to play more exciting football other than just possession football, because I can't stand any more paint trying football, honestly. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all soon.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.